If you've been following the headlines coming out of the Middle East and South Asia lately, you've seen one name pop up over and over again: Fatah. But here's the thing: the weapon you think you're watching, it might not exist. Or rather, it's not the weapon you think it is. We are looking at a tale of two entirely different arsenals: a Kryptonite trajectory that's terrifying radar operators, and a secret alliance that is rewriting the rules of the Middle East. Here are 5 things everyone is getting wrong about the Fatah missile. First, let's clear up the confusion that's plaguing the media. It turns out, Fatah is a popular name for a weapon. But Iran's Fatah and Pakistan's Fatah are about as similar as a sledgehammer and the scalpel. The Iranian Fatah-I, that's a monster, a medium-range ballistic missile. We're talking hypersonic speeds, Mach 13 to 15. It's designed to hit Israel from Tehran. It's strategic, heavy-hitting sledgehammer. But the Pakistani Fatah series, that's something else entirely. This is the scalpel. It's not a ballistic missile. It's a guided multiple-launch rocket system. While Iran is aiming for strategic shock, Pakistan's Fatah-II is tactical. It hits targets up to 400 kilometers away with pinpoint precision. Same name, 2 completely different wars. But here is where it gets scary for the defenders. The deadliest thing about the Pakistani Fatah-II isn't its warhead. Defense experts call it a flat trajectory. Standard missiles fly high, they arc, they scream, "I'm coming," to every radar system within 1,000 miles. The Fatah-II stays low. It hugs the terrain. It stays under the radar horizon. By the time an enemy radar, even a sophisticated one, actually sees it's coming over the hill, you aren't looking at minutes, you're looking at seconds, 30, maybe 60 seconds to react. It's a Kryptonite profile, and for air defense crews, it's a nightmare. Now critics will say, but can't the S-400 system just shoot it down? That's asking the wrong question. The strategy here isn't a duel, it's a swarm. Think about the economics. An interceptor missile for an S-400 system costs a fortune, well over $100,000 a shot. The Fatah rockets, they're relatively cheap. Pakistan's doctrine isn't to beat the S-400 with better tech, it's to bankrupt it. They launched the Fatah-II alongside cruise missiles, loitering munitions, and cheaper rockets. It's called a saturation attack. You overwhelm the sensors, you exhaust the interceptors, you force the enemy to spend millions of dollars to shoot down thousands of dollars. It's not just physics, it's accounting, and the math favors the attacker. This is the kind of deep dive analysis we live for at Southdefence. If you're unpacking the future of global conflict with us, make sure you don't miss what comes next. Hit that subscribe button and like this video. It genuinely helps us bring you more content that cuts through the noise. This brings us to the why. Why build this specific weapon? For years, the fear was that any war between India and Pakistan would go nuclear rather fast. The Fatah-II changes that calculus. It gives Pakistan a way to strike deep, hitting airfields and command centers 400 kilometers inside enemy territory without pushing the big red button. It creates a gray zone, a space where you can fight a conventional war with devastating precision, keeping the conflict below the nuclear threshold. It's a terrifying balance, but, strictly speaking, a stable one. But if you think this story stays in South Asia, you're missing the biggest piece of the puzzle. The Fatah isn't just for Pakistan anymore. It's going global. Pakistan is taking the system to EDX 2025 in Egypt. But more importantly, Watch out for September 2025. There are reports of a strategic mutual defense agreement being finalized between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia. A NATO-style pact. Aggression against one is aggression against both. Saudi Arabia is hedging their bets. They aren't just relying on the US anymore. They're looking east, and the Fatah missile system is likely the hardware that anchors this new alliance. So, the next time you hear the name Fatah, don't just think of a rocket. Think about the shift. We are moving away from the era of pure firepower and into the era of the cheap swarm. We are watching the birth of new alliances that bypass the old superpowers. The hardware is just metal and fuel, but the strategy behind it, that is what's going to shape the next decade of warfare. Stay tuned.